Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jimmy Landry. I'm the Artist Relations Manager for Cakewalk, and I'm on location today in Los Angeles, California with an amazing composer. He's done music for Super Bowls, he has done a bunch of video games, he's done Red Alert 3, The Simpsons game, and right now, actually, he has just finished the music for The Darkness 2, Mr. Tim Wynn. Thanks, Tim. Thanks so much for having us here today. Tim's just opened up another facility in Los Angeles, California for Sonic Fuel, which is his studio. It's been around for a long time. Why don't you tell us a little bit, or tell people a little bit about what The Darkness is all about? This is coming out in February.
Right, I think early February, February 11th.
And it's a series, correct?
It's a series and a comic book, and the whole thing. It's about Jackie Estacado coming back and paying back people for the wrongs in the first game, and I'll leave it at that. I won't divulge too much, but it's a uniquely sort of darkness score that incorporates. It's not just there's a lot of violence, which you would come to expect on a game, first-person shooter, but there's also a story behind it, and it's a very strong story that deals with his loss and his loss of his girlfriend and his woman and things like that. And there's a lot of twists and turns, and it's quite a game. Yeah.
You've used Sonar to make this whole score,
right?
But this one was a little bit different for you, right? I mean, you were telling me earlier that you had a whole. This actually was you wrote the music here, and then it goes out and it got recorded with the orchestra in Prague.
In Prague, right? So I wrote all the music here in X1, recorded the orchestra over in Prague. So I was sent over there for 10 days to record all the live orchestra, and the score is a score that uses all sorts of electronics and processing and different sort of things that I do with it. So Sonar was able to really blend the two together. So tracking all the orchestra, and then adding my electronics and drums and percussion and some of the other stuff to it, and processing all that stuff. And then that's how I got the final mix. Doing it that way.
How did it work with the creative process in terms of the executives for the game, and how did that music come to you? Were you scoring actually? Would they send you scenes, and then you scored a certain scene, and then they actually like what's going on, and you go down that road, or how did that work?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think it was a creative process I worked with at a company in Toronto called Digital Extremes. Jeff Edwards, the producer, and Dustin Corena is the audio lead there, and very talented guys. And we had a vision early on of what we wanted to do the game and how we wanted to score it. And so we started off with a few scenes that needed to score, and wrote the theme. And then it's from there. It's how many what scene, what level needs what sort of music, how much action music we need, what themes are going to be involved in this game, and that sort of things like that. So once the themes were composed, then it's easy to kind of like do a theme and variations through the rest of the game, and using the darkness theme and some of the other themes that were created.
What are some of the things that that were helpful for you for Sonar in terms of this, specifically for the darkness too?
Yeah, I think for the darkness, I mean, again, one of the main things was they needed a lot of splits. They wanted everything on separate stems, so it's the same sort of thing where that Sonar has the ability for me to throw all the effects I want to, put it in there, all the delays, all the processing, everything like that. Combine it with this organic element, the live orchestra, and with the correct delay, compensation, everything. You bounce it out, it's perfect. It's ready to go right into the game. The other thing that he used a lot was since I had so many different layers and levels and things like that in the writing is very complex. That having the track templates really handy to bring in something. Oh well, this will be a full orchestra piece. Oh, what if I need some more percussion? Well, let me pull in all my RMX loops and and everything is bounced the right way and with the right outputs. And with RMX, I might have, because I want the separate stems, I might have all that you can have eight channels going at a time. I might have all eight channels going out separate stems, and if on a track template, you can automatically load that in and it pulls right up. If you didn't have to do that, you'd have to load each individual RMX thing stem like that way, and the routing would be wrong and everything. It would take you a half an hour to probably replicate that. And with track templates, it's a big time saver if you don't, every queue is a little bit different, every project is a little bit different, and you can't set up one template that will incorporate everything, and it's a big waste of resources. Even if you try to do, say, 500 tracks, who wants to deal with that?
Right.
So with track templates, you can not worry about that. You can say, well, if I need to bring in live guitars, or if I need to bring in my live drum kit or whatever, I have my track template for that. One click of the button and it's already in your session ready to record.
You just said something I never really thought about track templates like that as almost being a peace of mind for someone like you, that if you had to do it by hand every time, you'd have to check to make sure that those folders of the rendered stems were correct. But if you go from a template, you're pretty much, or you are definitely assured that what you have set up as a template is going to go into those folders.
Right, and the same thing is that you might have certain processing on that. It's not just loading the audio and the MIDI files. I mean, you might have the same processing of, like, for the RMX loop, so the PC64, the percussion strip. I mean, you might want to have that on every one of those, and it'll load automatically just the way you want it, and the ability to kind of tweak that. And then for the buses, it's all bussed exactly the way. I mean, it's a huge time saver. I mean, you really just can't beat it.